I am pleased to announce today that Boeing is launching the Boeing 777X.
It was once hailed as the future of flight, a sleek, ambitious marvel unveiled to applause and flashbulbs at the 2013 Dubai Air Show, promising to crush competitors and set new benchmarks in fuel efficiency, passenger capacity, and sheer technological elegance. The Boeing 777X dazzled from the moment it was revealed, embodying a bold evolution of the legendary 777 family that had already earned its place in aviation history as a global workhorse. Airlines rushed to place orders, drawn by the promise of lower operating costs, foldable wingtips to maximize airport compatibility, and the largest, most advanced commercial engines ever built. For a while, optimism soared as high as the jet's planned cruising altitude. But behind the confident announcements, storm clouds gathered. What had begun as a flagship symbol of innovation soon became an agonizing lesson in the unpredictable realities of modern aerospace engineering. Delays multiplied, first from engine redesigns as GE's massive GE9X engines suffered faster than expected wear on compressor blades and dangerously high exhaust temperatures, then from structural issues, including a high-profile door blowout during critical stress testing, a failure that forced painful redesigns and set the program back further. These were not small tweaks but fundamental engineering challenges that demanded time, resources, and humility. The collapse of confidence after the tragic 737 MAX crashes cast a long shadow, reshaping the FAA's entire certification philosophy. What once took months now took years, as every subsystem, material choice, and assembly process had to be scrutinized, justified, and sometimes reimagined. The 777X, a product of the old, fast-moving certification era, suddenly found itself navigating a regulatory world built for zero tolerance, where reputation alone no longer smoothed the path. Yet the story wasn't just about delays, it was about shifting tectonics within the aviation industry itself. Leasing firms, once eager to bet on Boeing's promises, grew wary, questioning the jet's long-term residual value if demand sagged or replacement markets proved elusive. Some airlines, facing volatile fuel prices and economic uncertainty, reconsidered whether a very large, long-haul aircraft still fit a world increasingly built around point-to-point networks and smaller, ultra-efficient twins. As months stretched into years, the original 2020 service entry date evaporated into the fog of revised projections and cautious corporate updates. Confidence wavered. Even within Boeing, optimism was tempered by hard-earned realism, the understanding that in a post-737 MAX world, no amount of brand legacy could replace data, testing, and transparency. But through the turbulence, Boeing refused to abandon the 777X. At the 2025 Paris Air Show, executives didn't come to announce another delay. They came to double down, insisting that the aircraft, despite its setbacks, would still enter service before the decade's close. It wasn't empty bravado. Behind the scenes, teams had worked relentlessly to solve the thruster link cracking by reinforcing the titanium connector, redesigning cooling ports, and damping harmful vibrations. Flight tests, once marred by mechanical drama, resumed with a new quiet confidence. CEO Kelly Ortberg openly acknowledged the road still ahead, more data to gather, more paperwork to complete, but stressed that the program had turned a corner. The stakes extend far beyond a single aircraft. The 777X is, in many ways, Boeing's answer to an existential question. Can it still deliver the transformative products that made it an industry giant? The numbers remain formidable. Over 500 orders from major carriers like Emirates, Qatar Airways, and Lufthansa. But numbers alone can't hide the scars of years lost to rework and reputational damage. Leasing giants remain hesitant, pointing out that the market for second-hand large jets is uncertain, while Airbus' A350 quietly cements its role as the twin-aisle benchmark. And yet, the story of the 777X can't be told without stepping back further in time, to the late 1980s and early 1990s, when Boeing recognized that its successful 767 left a critical market gap. Early concepts to stretch the 767 failed to excite airlines, who wanted more than a longer fuselage. They demanded a genuine leap. That challenge birthed the original 777, the world's first commercial jet fully designed in digital 3D CAD, which took flight in 1994 and became a triumph of engineering and airline economics. It wasn't just an airplane. It was the product of listening to airline pilots, cabin crews, and mechanics in design workshops, resulting in a jet beloved for its range, comfort, and reliability. The success of the 777 set Boeing's reputation in stone as a pioneer of the modern twin-engine widebody. Fast forward to the 777X, and history seemed poised to repeat itself, but the path proved steeper. After unveiling in 2013, Boeing projected first deliveries by 2020. But cracks appeared almost immediately. Engine redesigns, certification tightening post-737 MAX, and high-profile failures like the cargo door incident turned confidence into caution. Even the promise of foldable wingtips, a world first, added new certification complexity as regulators demanded ironclad proof that they wouldn't deploy mid-flight. The pandemic further upended supply chains and airline balance sheets, amplifying every delay's impact. What should have been a triumphant product launch turned into a case study in how deeply modern aviation programs intertwine engineering, regulation, and global geopolitics. Still, in Seattle and across dozens of supplier plants worldwide, teams pushed forward. The door fix, the thruster link redesign, and fresh vibration analysis all contributed to flight tests finally resuming without further incidents. Yet Boeing knows recovery isn't just technical. It's cultural and strategic. The company is aggressively rebuilding trust, increasing transparency with regulators, creating parallel oversight layers, and even adjusting internal incentives to reward safety milestones as highly as delivery speed. And beyond the walls of Boeing, the ripple effects are profound. Airlines weigh new strategies. Some wonder whether to reduce risk by pivoting to Airbus or smaller twin jets, while others keep faith in the 777X's unmatched capacity for slot-constrained hubs. Airports, maintenance firms, and leasing houses watch closely, knowing a successful certification could revive confidence and billions in ecosystem value. Meanwhile, aviation historians see echoes of past programs like the 747 and Concorde, ambitious, era-defining aircraft that carried hopes beyond mere transport. Ultimately, the 777X's journey is a modern aviation epic, a testament to ambition meeting hard lessons in physics, bureaucracy, and trust. It illustrates how even giants stumble, and how fixing what breaks, both in metal and in reputation, requires time, humility, and relentless rigor. And so, as test flights circle the skies once again, engineers, executives, and aviation watchers alike hold their breath. Because the 777X is not just another airplane. It's the question Boeing must still answer. Can the vision that first inspired the world to look up still take flight, even after so many years grounded by hard reality? The next chapter will reveal whether this bold design can finally move from the realm of promise into everyday service, restoring faith not only in Boeing, but in the fragile, remarkable dance between human engineering and the open sky. It isn't just another plane. It's a bold declaration that the future of flight can, and must, be smarter, cleaner, and more comfortable than ever before. The Boeing 777X is far more than a simple upgrade. It represents a leap into what a modern widebody can be in the 21st century, built on ambition, hard-won lessons, and the belief that innovation still has power to reshape the skies. At the core beats the GE9X, a behemoth of an engine crafted by General Electric, not just enormous, but intelligent, using lighter composite fan blades, advanced ceramic matrix composites, and finely tuned airflow to squeeze every ounce of performance out of every drop of fuel. Boeing says it burns around 10% less fuel than its mighty predecessor, the GE90, an engine that itself helped redefine global travel on the 777-3000. But the engine is just the start of Boeing's reimagining. Perhaps the most striking engineering statement is in the wings, longer than those of any twin jet before, built from lightweight carbon fiber composite and crowned with folding wingtips, a historic first in commercial aviation. This clever mechanism lets the wings unfurl to an impressive 71.75 meters in flight for aerodynamic efficiency, while folding up on the ground to slip into standard airport gates, sparing airlines billions in terminal redesigns. Together, this powerhouse and these futuristic wings deliver a fuel savings of about 12 to 13% over the older 777 models, a number that can make or break profitability in an era of high fuel costs and mounting environmental scrutiny. Yet numbers alone don't tell the whole story. Step inside, and the difference is immediate. A wider cabin by 4 inches means more shoulder space. Vast windows 29% larger than before flood the interior with daylight, easing the sense of confinement during long hauls. Boeing lowered the cabin altitude from the standard 8,000 feet to around 6,000 feet, helping passengers arrive feeling less drained, with fewer headaches and dry skin. Improved insulation trims cabin noise by about 8 dB, a leap over past generations, turning roaring engines into a soft hum and letting passengers rest or work more easily. Even the small things matter. Overhead bins have been redesigned, nearly doubling in capacity, making boarding smoother and fights over carry-on space rarer. It's a carefully balanced vision of power and comfort. The -9 variant can carry up to 426 passengers in 2 classes, meaning airlines can spread costs over more seats, lowering per-passenger costs while still offering a premium experience. In a world where airlines chase every fraction of efficiency and passengers demand more space and peace, these details become deciding factors. The 777X embodies Boeing's belief that flying better doesn't just mean flying farther or faster. It means flying smarter, quieter, and with an eye toward both profit and passenger well-being. Yet even as the 777X promises a new chapter, its journey has been anything but smooth. Boeing's bold choice to delay certification isn't just a matter of paperwork. It's an admission that, after the painful lessons of the 737 MAX crisis, speed can't come before certainty. The company is betting that a slower, more cautious rollout can rebuild shattered trust with airlines and regulators alike. It's a risky gamble because the longer the wait, the greater the temptation for airlines to defect to Airbus. Cathay Pacific has already signed for 30 Airbus A330neos with options for 30 more, plus 6 A350 freighters. Emirates, once one of Boeing's fiercest loyalists, ordered 65 Airbus A350-900s to bridge gaps caused by 777X delays. KLM and Qantas too have leaned toward Airbus, signaling a slow erosion of confidence. Yet Boeing believes that by proving safety and reliability, by delivering a jet that really is better rather than simply newer, it can reverse the tide. CEO Kelly Ortberg frames this delay not as defeat, but as an investment in Boeing's reputation and long-term competitiveness, especially in the lucrative long-haul market where Airbus's A350 has been gaining ground. The stakes are enormous. Beyond the 777X itself, Boeing is fighting to prove it can still be the company that once reshaped global travel with the 747, 777, and 787 Dreamliner. If it misses its promised 2026 entry into service, some customers may walk away for good. Airbus could tighten its grip on the twin-aisle market, leaving airlines with fewer choices and the entire industry with slower innovation and potentially higher prices. Yet if Boeing succeeds, the 777X could mark a true renaissance, an aircraft that combines huge capacity, world-leading efficiency, and real passenger comfort, a rival not just on paper but in the air. In that sense, this isn't merely about one jet's fate. It's about Boeing's standing as a trusted name in aviation and about preserving healthy competition that pushes technology forward for everyone. Every flight test, every engineering fix, and every certification milestone over the next 2 years carries outsized importance. Airlines, investors, passengers, all are watching to see if Boeing can deliver the vision it promised back in 2013. Can it turn the world's largest, smartest twinjet from a delayed dream into a daily reality? The 777X, once seen as just the next model in a proud family, has become a symbol of something far larger. The struggle to rebuild trust, redefine excellence, and prove that even after painful missteps, innovation can still take flight. And as Boeing's teams quietly work, refining wing folds, testing engines, rewriting software, and double-checking every bolt. The world waits to see whether this bold gamble ends as a comeback story or cautionary tale. In the end, the answer will shape not only Boeing's future, but the next era of global aviation.